Sure. Hi.
What do the Somalians have to do with this Afghan guy who shot the national?
Nothing, but Somalians have caused a lot of trouble. They're ripping us off for a lot of money. There's a tremendous amount of money going back to Somalia. What the hell are we paying money to Somalia for? But they're ripping off our country at a level that few people have been able to see before. That's about the only thing. You talk about competence. We have Ilhan Omar, who does nothing but complain about our country and our Constitution. And she comes from a country with practically no country. It's devastated, it's crime-ridden, it's a mess, it's a disgrace. And we took their people at a tremendous... We're not taking their people anymore. We're not taking their people. And we're getting a lot of their people out because they're nothing but trouble. Okay, thank you very much, everybody. Go ahead.
You can't always tell everything that's going on right up front, because if you tell everything that's going on right up front, then your enemy is going to know exactly what you're doing.
I hope you're able to find the 30,000 emails that are missing.
So yeah, we have a bigger issue than just Democrats. We have an issue of the American indoctrinated people that just let things like this go. It's been happening for years and years and years, and frankly, I'm sick of it. And so I'm just telling you, they're telling you, and they've been telling you this stuff in front of your face for a really long time.
Our own government working against us. I mean, we've always had the government working against us. We just didn't know it. Hey. Good afternoon, everybody. This is April of June. Yeah, it's December. It's already. Let me fix that camera. How ridiculous is that? Look like I'm a little child sitting in a freaking chair. Weird. Okay, so it's December 1st, and it's snowing outside, which is amazing because I don't think it snowed in Missouri on December anything for years. Okay, I would love it if we had a white Christmas, though. I would. But it's so cold. It is so cold. I don't even know what is the ridiculous temperature. It's 32 degrees. Okay, 32, and it's going to be 22 tonight. Yikes. And don't tell me if you're in Florida because I don't want to know. Just saying. I like snow and all that stuff, but I would prefer to be in my house. So my fireplace isn't working in my office. So, it's crazy. Lonnie Collier, nice to see you. I am good and freezing. I can get through it. Shauna Vision's over there on what is that? Twitch. Linda Dubois, how are you? And Alice Flowers, she says, oh geez, I don't know what that means. Wireman, nice to see you too. Oh, finally some movement. Are you talking about what are you talking about? Are you talking about the mail? I'm just asking because I know that my deliveries are taking a little longer right now, and it said because of weather. Now, this said days before today's snowstorm. It was about weather, so we'll see. Yes, I agree. Send them all back. Send them all back. I am sick and tired of the excuses that everyone is making for these illegals and these unloyal, disrespectful, ridiculous people who did come here legally, who decided that they could lie on their oaths of office, and we're just going to be okay with that. So you come here, you take an oath of office, and you lie because you don't respect us enough to tell the truth. You take an oath of office, and then the next thing we know, you're saying death to America in our own streets, carrying around your own flag, burning ours. Are you serious? It's time for you to leave. And thank God Donald Trump has finally done something about that. They should have done that already. Instrument tech. What kind of instrument is it? Kathleen, how are you? Nice to see you too. Let's see. Who else is in there? I'm sick of the American people being complicit with the BS. Me too. It is so annoying. I had a conversation over the weekend with one of my neighbors, not the crazy one on the corner, not that I'm going to do a show about that guy sometime in the near future because I want to show you how to handle a bully. Because you're going to need to know. These crazies are everywhere. everywhere. And it's getting worse. It's like something has come over their minds, which has totally erased common sense and decency whatsoever. Oh, industrial. Okay. Oh, I see. You just changed your little thing there. Instrument tech instead of industrial tech. Nice. Okay. Yeah. So I am completely over it. Today I did a TikTok live, and on there, now see, this is what I don't understand. People who have a certain persuasion, and I hate to say this because I have a lot of friends who are Black. I really do. And I have a lot of clients that are Black that I really like them, and they really like me. So between us, it's not a racial thing. The thing is, it always seems to be one group of people who aren't white, unless it's white liberals. I mean, but I'm talking about this particular people going into stores, grabbing people, grabbing stuff, destroying it, and physically attacking just random people just for being white. Okay. And it always is this one persuasion of people. And I have to say, I really resent that. And so when you sit there and you go, okay, you know, I got a lot of friends who are Black who are really nice. They, they speak well. It just seems weird. It's almost like Biden saying, oh, Obama smelled good. And rah, rah, rah. Okay, well, that was weird, I will say. But see, I don't want to put the Black people that I know personally into this category of savages that we continue to see. But unfortunately, here's the thing. Every single time you see the video, it is always some of them. Always. Some of them. It's never anyone else. It's literally them. I can't even tell you how many times over the weekend I saw some videos of total destruction of stores. The little children going in, both hands, grabbing both hands and pulling it off the shelves and throwing stuff on the floor while the employees stood around while this brat kid, and I mean total brat kid, taught by their entitled mother to sit there and destroy somebody's business. Then I saw a kid. Now I've seen this video a long time ago. So it's like 2 or 3 years old already. That this little Black boy in pull-ups kicking cops. Now, I'm not a fan of cops. I totally get it. I'm not a fan. But you don't kick them. You do not assault them. You do not verbally abuse anyone. But that's exactly what this kid was doing. While his tribe stood around and like, it's not funny because that kid is going to grow up and be in prison. I mean, that is a prisoner waiting to happen right there. And then I saw a group, a mother and her 4 children go into a store. I mean, I can tell you what, this woman didn't look like she needed any more food. So she takes her kids into the store. They sit down in the middle. It almost looked like Walmart where the milk area is and all that stuff. He literally went to the shelves, got food, sat down in the middle of the aisle, and started eating all the food. The kids are like, yeah, this is so good. Oh, it's so good. And the mom's like, yeah, eat up, kids, because that's how entitled they are. They don't think about other people. They don't think, wasn't it the donut aisle? I don't remember that part. I just remember thinking to myself, are you seriously kidding me? And the employees just stand around, oh, I don't know what to do, because they get fired if they intervene. How many times have you seen someone who is a heroic employee, take care of the deal at hand, which is a criminal coming in and doing something like stealing, assaulting people, threatening their lives, that kind of stuff, take out the criminal, and they get fired for intervening? because, oh, you put my business at risk. Your business was already at risk, you freaking moron. So I'm sitting here thinking to myself, it's just this culture. It's that one culture. And then Jasmine Crockett, I got to show you what she said, because this is just so outrageous to me. I can't even believe that she said this. And this was after the Muslim shot 2 National Guardsmen. This is what she says about white people.
America, this is exactly what he wants. And the idea that one person can get out of line and commit such a horrific crime as shooting 2 of our National Guardsmen, 2 National Guardsmen that never, ever asked to be here. In fact, we know the young lady that lost her life, specifically, we're saying that this is a waste of time. But now you want to go against every single immigrant. That doesn't make sense. And it's frankly not who we are, because if that's the case, let's talk about the white supremacists and how many of them can get out of line. Idea that lady that lost her life, specifically, we're saying that this is a waste of time. But now you want to go against every single immigrant.
Every single.
That doesn't make sense. And it's frankly not who we are, because if that's the case, let's talk about the white supremacists and how many of them need to be kicked out of this.
Okay, I got to ask you. When she's talking about white supremacists, who is she talking about? Let me just tell you this. So I was going to play the guy's video. Okay, I was going to play the guy's video, but he had too many vulgar words in there. I was like, I can't play that. But he's a black guy saying that there is a white supremacy thing. And here's the thing. Okay, it's not that people are white and they're walking around superior. It's not that. But what it is those clothes on her back, that eyeshadow she's wearing, her weave that she's got on, and her, her wigs, her lashes, her lipstick, her esthetician, her nail tech, all of these things, the stuff that goes on her nails, the shoes she's wearing, the phone in her hand, the people she abuses every single day. If it wasn't for white people, she would have none of that. Zero. And that black guy is saying that. If it wasn't for white people, you would have no civilization whatsoever at all. And it's so apparent by going into their neighborhoods. It's literally apparent by going into their own neighborhoods, watching and observing what's going on there. And it's designed specifically to tear each other down. So when she's talking about deporting anyone, what is she talking about? She's literally saying that we should deport white people. This is why I think she's like the dumbest person in Congress right now. I don't even think AOC would say to deport white people, because deportation actually has something to do with someone porting themselves into where you are. And in order to deport them, they would have had to come from somewhere in the first place. This is why I'm like, this is the epitome of, here, I'm going to hand you a law degree just because I can't stand you and I need you out of my classroom like yesterday. The ultimate in dumbness.
Country, because I can guarantee you, I can track down more crimes that they've.
I can guarantee you can't.
Committed, because overall immigrants have a lower crime committal rate.
Wow. I'm just now seeing the side view. She has gotten to be a fat cat in many ways by being a mouthy, horrifying excuse for any kind of representative that there could ever be.
White supremacists, but we don't want to talk about that in this country.
I mean, the FBI has for years said that homegrown terrorism.
Now, see, I don't understand why people don't push back against her right now and say, what do you mean by white supremacists? You are in a nation that is an actual, basically European-based country, okay? Most people that were here and have come here have immigrated from Europe. This was founded by Europeans. So it would only naturally be that there would be more white people in the United States of America than black people. So this doesn't make any sense to me. Who are you talking about specifically? And I would like to go up to her and say, hey, when you say white supremacists, are you talking about me? Because I can guarantee that you are a fat cat, not me. Black privilege is what you got. You know why? Because you were handed a law degree without even having the brains to fill out the paperwork yourself.
Correct.
A much bigger issue than anything from any other country.
Yeah. This is one of the people that should be removed from Congress, because I don't know who she's representing, because she's certainly not representing anyone I know. Here's the deal. White supremacists are at least Americans. So her story is a moot point. That's hilarious. True. Look at South Africa right now. I know. Look at all these countries that have Black leadership. For the most part, what's happening in these things is that the Black people are oppressing their other Black people. Hold on. It's too cold in here, and I think my little doggy is freezing. Are you freezing? Are you freezing, little doggy? Are you freezing? I've seen them walking around eating the rotisserie chicken and tossing the bones in the aisles. Yeah. What kind of nerve is that? Does she see white supremacy everywhere? I think she does. I think anytime there's a white person in the vicinity, all of a sudden we are all white supremacists. I mean, there is, I think Wikipedia just did Black supremacy or something like that. And now they have the definition of this, and anti-whiteism is now a new term in Wikipedia. They're finally figuring out. I mean, to me, there's no such thing as reverse racism. It's just racism, period. Because when you're dealing with people on their skin color and you're making assertions and assumptions because of their skin color, you're already a racist. And that's what she does constantly, every single day, all the time. I want to show you this other video of this guy and what he's saying about this, about immigrants not being loyal. Look at this.
United States went to war with Colombia. Who do you side with?
Colombia.
Get the fuck out of our country. Holy fuck. Why do you side with Colombia?
Because I'm from Colombia.
You've lived here for 10 years and you're now a citizen.
Okay, still that doesn't mean I'm not gonna side
You
with
have
my
no.
country.
Okay, I'm looking this up. Yes, becoming a citizen requires taking the oath of allegiance.
Now, just so we're clear here, this guy that's talking isn't a brainiac. He's not even lifting a brain cell to figure this out at all.
By taking the oath, you pledge to renounce any foreign allegiance, support and defend the U.S. Constitution and laws, and perform service to the country when required by law. You do not become a citizen until you have complete.
This is the same exact thing that Ilhan Omar and her entire district, who committed immigration fraud, okay, and the Muslims that are uprising in New York, and I'm just talking about the illegal ones. I'm talking about the ones who came over here legally, went through the class, took the oath, signed the paper. That's who I'm talking about.
Completed the oath ceremony and received your certificate of naturalization. Did you receive your certificate of naturalization?
Yes.
Did you complete the oath ceremony?
Yes.
So you're a liar? Do you remember this?
Yeah.
Now, see, there's a bunch of liberals around him. People, this is so funny. There's your oath of office. Yeah. Did you complete that? Yes. And he says, you're a liar. She just doesn't even bat an eye. And they just all laugh. That's serious. I think that is such a serious crime. She should be arrested right now before the end of that show even happened.
Here, read that shit again. I do solemnly swear that I absolutely and entirely renounce and abjure, I don't even know what the that means, all allegiance, Colombia, and fidelity to any foreign prince or what the
He doesn't know what a potentate is.
Potentate? Is that a fucking fruit? What the is that shit? It's like a pomegranate and a fucking potato. State or sovereignty. Did you say that shit?
Yeah.
So you lied to get into the United States, bruv.
I didn't lie.
You have allegiance to Colombia.
It's not allegiance.
Originally, you said Colombia.
Yeah.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah, we'll stick
Originally.
to that answer.
Can you believe it? Are you seriously kidding me? I mean, he's calling her out right there on the show, as he should be. As he should be. This is unacceptable in every way. This is one of the reasons. I mean, we've got uprisings in the streets in New York, in all over Texas, Minnesota, all over the United States now, right now. And wherever the mosques are, wherever they are, you better get ready, because their whole entire agenda is about taking over the United States of America and destroying it. And, you know, Ilhan Omar, Rashida Tlaib, and who's the other one? Her last name starts with a P. I can't remember. Jayapal, her. Those three people should be out of Congress. And then they can take all the rest of them with them. Because look at this. This guy is absolutely right of what he's talking about right here. I'm going to show you because it was really good what he had to say. Where is it? I've got it in here. Oh, here it is.
We allow people that are not natural born citizens of this country to represent the natural born citizens of this country. Do we think that people that have openly said that their allegiance lies with another country are going to represent you and I and everybody else? That's an absurd thought, and we all know it's not true. So when are we going to wake the fuck up and quit allowing people to come here from other countries who are not citizens to serve in our government and make policy that does not represent the United States taxpayer? When are we going to wake up and fix that? Because that's the actual problem here, and nobody wants to say it. These people do not belong here. When you bring third world people to America, they don't magically convert into American culture. They bring over all the savagery that they have lived with their entire lives here to your backyard. And the reason they're allowed to do that is because people who never have to deal with the consequences of these actions continue to fucking allow it.
Yeah. And, you know, see, Lonnie said this. I heard there are at least 14 people in Congress that are supposed to be ousted and deported. I don't know, because I tried to find some kind of documentation on Ilhan Omar, because that would be like amazing if she was kicked out of Congress. They tried to sanction her before and censor her, and that didn't happen. They have no intention of assimilating. Okay. Like the lawyer that was at Twitter that couldn't understand the First Amendment. I know. If you can't understand what that is, then you need to go somewhere else. I mean, here's the deal. I don't care what you say to me. I don't care what you say to me. What I do care about is if you physically try to attack me or do something to me in that way. All your little papers that you write on and all your little talking and whatever, doesn't matter. It's when you start to breach the barrier of physical interaction, that's when I have a problem, because the air coming out of your head is just that, air coming out of your head. I don't care who you are. Now, am I listening to what you have to say? Yeah, because that could lead to your physical actions. Absolutely, it could. So it's not like I'm not paying attention. It's not like I'm disregarding it. But until then, until you actually take some kind of physical crossing over that barrier, you're still, to a point, in free speech. Now, in that regard, okay, there are laws and statutes on the books. So, for example, if you are going to adhere to that, now, a lot of us in here believe in free speech. We believe in all those kinds of things. And so if somebody's saying something stupid to us, we're just going to be like, and your point would be what? Because my point is, get off my property. Don't interact with me again. I have the right to not know you. So leave my area. But then the person who is verbally attacking you, and I say verbally because they're not physically touching you anymore, is the kind of mentality that wants to stand by the statute of verbal assault, hate speech, because there is such a thing as felony hate speech. Brandon, it's felony hate speech. Yeah, because you can't talk about somebody's religion in a hate speech platform. And you cannot call them names that would deal with sexual orientation, because that's 2 hate crimes. Just saying, Brandon. And you can tell your little Jennifer too. Yes, I know who you are. Same thing. So that being said, I have no problem if those guys want to keep on doing that and calling the sheriff or whoever to go over and deal with it and stop it. Because it's like, if you're going to bend to that authority, then by all means, bend to that authority. Do it. I mean, if the guy's saying something to me, then I have an issue with it. Okay? I have an issue with it, but I also have the right to tell him to get off my property and don't talk to me again. I don't want you in my vicinity. Hello, I'm not approaching you. I don't want to approach you. I don't even want to see your face. So if your face isn't in front of me, I'm good. Okay? You know? But I'm also not going to be a jerk. And that if somebody's animal gets out and comes on my property, I'm not going to sit here and have a big problem with the animal unless it's doing something, destroying my area or something. I might call you and say, hey, you got to get this animal out of here. Now, if it kept doing it on purpose, then we have a problem. Coming out of her head would be a technical. Ralph, that's hilarious. Coming out of her head would be technically a fart because her head is up her butt. Yeah, I do think Democrats protect criminals all the time. They are criminals. They're committing crimes all the time and they don't care. Yeah, so they literally don't have any respect for anybody else. And I agree with that guy. There is nobody that is going to come from a third world country who they're literally escaping the hellhole they were in. And it's the same thing as California. You want to escape California, but yet you want to bring your crap to a different state. And I say this again, because the bottom line with the people calling themselves Christians, we need to turn the other cheek. We need to love everyone. And it's like, okay, but you're not understanding what love is. Love is drawing a line and saying you're not crossing it. Okay. Love is saying you will assimilate to goodness. I'm not going to bend to your, depravity just to make you feel good. So now you feel good and I don't. But see, the difference is you're doing something wrong. I'm not. You see what I'm saying? I'm choosing to stay here in Northern California. I like a good fight. I don't like it that much. California is, to me, a lost cause. I mean, because, there are some times when Christ said, dust your shoes off and move on. Didn't President Trump say that no foreigner can hold a government office, whether federal, state, and local? They have to be born in American soil. I don't know if that's what he said, but it should be that way. Let me see. I hope he said it. I'm going to look at what he said. A parent will twist a child's arm to prevent them from crossing the road. Sometimes love hurts. That's true. A good spanking sometimes does that too. Not a beating, spanking, 2 different things. So let's not mix words here. All right. So here's what the article is. And, I like to take this sometimes from liberal sources because they're so absurd. I mean, they're so absurd. It is ridiculous. Okay. So we're going to take it from this source, which is The Guardian. Trump says he will permanently pause migration from third world countries after National Guard shooting. In a social media post sent late on Thanksgiving, U.S. President said he would end all federal benefits and subsidies to non-citizens following Washington, D.C. shooting. Cool. Good. Donald Trump has said he will permanently pause migration from all third world countries a day after 2 National Guard members were shot in Washington, D.C. in an attack that has become a political flashpoint in the president's ongoing crackdown on immigration. Well, I'm surprised you've said that so far. In a social media post beginning with a very happy Thanksgiving sent after 11 p.m. on Thursday, the U.S. president said his administration would end all federal benefits and subsidies to non-citizens and remove anyone who is not a net asset to the United States. That means you better be doing something good or get out. And he is going to pursue it. It is not clear how the president would enact such a pause in migration. I don't know. Let's see. You're from there? No, thanks. Previous bans issued by his administration have faced challenges in the courts and in Congress. Yeah, because we have corrupt judges in there who just love to release criminals. Earlier in the night, Trump announced the death of Sarah Beckstrom, one of the two National Guard members shot in the attack close to the White House on Wednesday. Authorities suspect the shooting was carried out by this guy, Ramanallah Lankinwal, whatever, an Afghan national who entered the U.S. in September 2021 under a Biden-era program that evacuated and resettled tens of thousands from evacuating. I don't even know what to call that. Evacuated and resettled tens of thousands from Afghanistan after chaotic U.S. withdrawal from the country. That was a whole debacle in itself. I mean, hey, if you're in Afghanistan, stay. I don't know what to tell you. It's your country. You want to ruin it? I guess go ahead. There are people who are suffering political problems, and I understand that. But in that particular thing, sorry, you can't hitch a ride. Not this time. He was granted asylum in April this year under the Trump administration, Reuters reported, and probably by some rogue person. See, every time they say the Trump administration, they go, Donald Trump did it. Donald Trump did it. Like he knows every single thing, that every single decision at every single moment that is done by every single person who has a government job. Dumb. Reuters reported that on Thursday, the CIA confirmed he worked with military units backed by the agency during the U.S. war in Afghanistan. Lincoln was injured in the attack and remains in custody. U.S. authorities said he would be charged with first-degree murder. Second National Guard member Andrew Wolf, 24, is still fighting for his life. According to the president, on Friday evening, the U.S. State Department said it had immediately paused issuing visas for anyone traveling on an Afghan passport. Seems like it just says, it's not clear how the president went and enacted such a pause in migration. And then down here it says, on Friday evening, the U.S. State Department said it had immediately paused issuing visas for anyone traveling on an Afghan passport. Did Jasmine Crockett write this? I'm just asking, because it just seems like, yeah, Andrew Wolf is awake and responsive. Cool. Thanks to April. Teach me how to correct my stats. My country no longer bothers with me. Or your county. Well, that's good. Hey, Annie M. Nice to see you. Aren't you Auntie M? Auntie M? I think you are. Yeah, the whole thing is ridiculous. The whole thing is ridiculous. Let me see. I've got another video here. Yeah, and this is why we don't want him here. This is one of the reasons. Sign that. Sign it. Do it. A little girl. Are you kidding me? Why would anybody who is a female want to facilitate that kind of behavior? It's because of jealousy. I think it's the whole entire culture itself. Doesn't care about anyone but themselves, and that's it. And they think they're being loyal to this Allah thing. Okay, it's, you know, I don't really like insulting people, but I'm going to tell you right now. So some of you already know this. Okay. So I worked for a person who was a Buddhist. All right. She was from India. She was a Buddhist. And I didn't really want to work for her, but the job was good. It paid well, you know, and I thought, okay, I'll try it. I do try to give everybody a chance, although I'm leery of a lot of stuff. All right. So here I am. I'm the manager at this motel. One of the other workers from the other hotel, it's really a motel, that she owned, came over and said, you know, you're supposed to be lighting that Buddha every day. And I said, I'm not lighting any Buddha. one, I'm Christian, and two, I'm just not. That's not a job requirement. Okay, it's not. It's not in my contract that I have to light somebody's Buddha. You know, I don't worship Buddha. You want to light it? Go light yourself. So she comes in one day and she goes, her name was Pragna. She comes in one day and she goes, you know, you're supposed to light that Buddha every day. I said, I am not, okay, Buddhist. I'm not lighting that. And she says, well, you have to. I said, no, I literally don't have to, and I'm not going to. And so she had this big old, it wasn't really a fight, but it was a verbal war. And I said, okay, look. And I took that Buddha out of the corner. It was only like this big. So, you know, it's like $1.49 at one of those novelty stores where they got them lined up everywhere and all kinds of Buddhas from teeny tiny to huge. Okay. So it was probably like $1.49 when she bought it. So I'm thinking that as I'm looking at it, I'm like $1.49. Woo, you spent a lot of time there and a lot of money on your God. So I took that thing and I went out to the street and I chucked it into the middle of the road. And a car came by and went whoosh, right over it. And I said, now let's see that raised from the dead. I went back in. Now, if she would have fired me, I wouldn't have cared because I'm not lighting it. Okay. She didn't fire me. But I'm not going to be subjected to that crap. Okay. If you can't have your God raised from the dead, you aren't better than mine. You're not. Besides the fact, Allah isn't going to die for you. Not going to happen. All right. God sent his son down here to actually die and suffer for each one of us so we don't have to do it. And then the Muslims have this thing. Oh, well, they must. I just don't like that kind of a bloodthirsty God. Are you seriously kidding me? Said the bloodthirsty running around in the streets, treating kids like that, like you just saw, treating women like third world citizens. Basically, dogs have better treatment, throwing acid on women just for being women, raping small children because it's our religion says we can. Okay, just because it says it can doesn't mean it should be done. You should think, not a good idea. The families taking their 6-year-olds, their 7-year-olds, their 10-year-olds, 12-year-olds, and all that kind of stuff, okay, and selling them to the highest bidder because they are literally that kind of scum. I'm sitting there and thinking to myself, why preachers from the pulpit have said for years, which is an indoctrination thing, we should be nice to all people. We should be good and kind and loving to all. That doesn't mean that you sit there and you sacrifice little children to that crap, or women to that crap, or people whose sexual orientation you don't agree with. I'm not saying that I agree with it either, because I certainly do not. But you don't throw them off buildings. You don't go into schools. Black people are going into schools and literally beating up white kids to a pulp and stomping on their heads with zero consequences to them, no kind of remorse whatsoever, with all their pals around them thinking that, oh, this is great. Let's stomp on the head of a white person. We have white people walking down the streets and black people coming up behind them and just throwing them on the ground. How am I supposed to respect that? How do I respect that? How do I say, oh, I respect you? I definitely respect you. You're shoplifting. You're committing crimes by the thousands. You're literally doing dine and dash. And we're supposed to be okay with that. Y'all go watch Israel Anderson's work and realize, I'm guessing you say Yahweh was Satan, an imposter God. Why do you think Jesus is completely different from the lying, tricking, genocidal, blood-sacrificing God of the Old Testament? Are you insane? Are you literally insane? Do you have any idea what the Old Testament is? Because I don't think you do. The Old Testament itself, okay, and I call Jesus, Christ, God, Son of God, to you. It is not the genocidal, blood-sacrificing God of the Old Testament. You don't seem to get it, and you don't understand what's actually going on in eternal life. Okay? You know what? I don't need to listen to you. I literally don't. You are in a timeout. Period. Okay? So when you want to sit there and you want to say that stuff to me, it's BS. Because the Old Testament is where the Christian, okay, there was Christians, because Christianity has been from the very beginning, because Christ made everything. If you had any clue of what you're saying, which you don't, okay, Christ made everything. So Christianity was from the very beginning. That's one thing. So all through the years, Christ hadn't come yet. He hadn't come. So all those things in the Old Testament were about cleansing of sin, because Christ hadn't come yet. He hadn't died for people's sins. Duh. Okay, this is like such a duh. This is like basic Christianity 101. All right? And then all the strife between the government and Christianity through the years, because government is a reflection of Christianity. Duh. Again. When the church was doing good, the government was low. When the church was being tyrannical like they are now, the church was chaotic. And that's what we have right now. Now you have people come, I don't like organized religion. Okay, well then you go out in the chaos. Okay, go and have chaos yourself. And now we got people coming in here into this country because the Christians are like, you gotta be nice to all. We gotta be nice to all. We gotta we gotta tolerate everything. Tolerance is the key. Tolerance. You gotta love and tolerate everyone. Well, I don't need to love and tolerate everyone like that. I can give them tough love and not tolerate anything that they're doing like that. Nope, I'm out. No, I'm not going to tolerate that stuff. I'm not tolerating you cringing on my stuff. I'm not tolerating your wailing out there in public and your stopping of all the traffic because you got to do 5 times prayer per day. You can do that in your own head. Okay? Don't do it where I'm at. Because I'm not going to bend down and bend over to your God of nothingness. There's nothing there. It's like this microphone, this lamp, okay? This piece of wood. That's all it is. It's like nothingness. You want me to bow down to that? What kind of miracle is going to happen there? Nothing. Zero. And the more you do it, the more evil you become, obviously. It's obvious. Try my leader of ISIS at the White House and the guy that killed the 2 National Guard worked for the CIA. He probably did. Have you ever heard about keeping your enemies close? Haven't you noticed that this is what Trump does? He invites people in, makes a big spectacle about them. Because when you put them up here and they fall down there, it's a public embarrassment for them. Haven't you ever noticed that stuff? Church bills have been removed from the public square. Yeah, they shouldn't be. Hymns, no longer. Instead, we have orchestrated concert music. Did you ever think that maybe hymns were there was a reason for a hymn? See, we have been infiltrated in every level of our entire society so much that a POS person on the corner can go around screaming and yelling at people and claiming things that's not his own and try to terrorize the rest of the people around. And we're supposed to just turn the other cheek. That's how bullies think. Bullies think because you're a Christian that all of a sudden you're a wimp. You shouldn't be a wimp when you're a Christian. You should be like Joshua. Joshua was one of those kind of guys who went out there and he was strong. He was like, I'm not taking any crap from anybody. In fact, he was so strong sometimes people were like, hey, Joshua, you might want to chill out a little. He's like, are you kidding me? The people in the Bible were, the reason that they were told to destroy entire societies is so that that one little piece of evil, wherever it was, didn't infiltrate their society. What do you think the children of Israel were wandering around for 40 years in the desert? They were wandering around the 40 years, not because God said, hey, I'm going to leave you here for 40 years. It wasn't because of that. It's because he was like waiting for the last guy who was born in Egypt to die. The indoctrinated last guy to die before he led them out to the promised land, because he didn't want all of the stuff that they had before to go over here. Why would you do that? Well, I'm going to take some cancer with me. Come on, lock arms. Let's go. So yeah, God had a plan. And God also knows he's not stupid. He also knows that if any innocents die in that realm, they're okay on the other side. That's called life after death. Life after death. So you die and there's life on the other side. So he's like, don't worry about him. I'll take care of it over here. We're like, oh, devastated. Okay. But there's hope on the other side. Hope is on the other side. What in the heck is going on in these churches? These people are literally indoctrinated and dumbed down to the point that they can't even see the evil that they are perpetuating themselves. And we're just supposed to sit there and say, okay, Ilhan Omar is probably one of the most evil people that there are in Congress. All she spews is hate. Rashida Tlaib, hate, 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 hate. That's all they do. That thing that I showed you from the very beginning was in Michigan. It was a group of Somalians cheering and acting like crazies. Yeah, look at these dumb people. Now look, there's white liberals. Now listen, look in that crowd. There's white liberals. Are they lighting things on fire? No. Are they assaulting people? No. They're just chanting. Are they committing battery on people? Battery is when you physically touch people and start hitting them. Are they bashing in windows, jumping on cars, twerking, and acting like savages? Are they? No, they're not. They're absolutely not doing that. Okay? So that, what I'm saying to you is, we're sitting here and we're saying it's okay to be violent and all this stuff, but the only violence is on one side. None of these people, even though they're liberal, are going to be doing that. None of them. I don't care if they want to go out there and peacefully be stupid. They're literally showing the world that they're dumb. Okay. The Constitution gives you the right to be able to do that. You peacefully protesting right there. That's what they're doing. Peacefully protesting. They're showing the whole entire world what side of the coin they're on. It's the people that they're defending that are the problem. They're violent criminals. And they're the ones who are doing all the savagery. Nobody is illegal. And you know what these people will do? This is the dumbing down of America and the complete and total idiocracy that has been perpetrated and installed in their heads, that they are so inept they wouldn't even save their own children from this, and they would make excuses when their child is raped or murdered. I've seen it. It's unacceptable in every way. That tells you that if you are the child of one of those people, you can't trust your parent to actually stand up for you at all, because they're not going to do it. They're absolutely not going to do it. That makes you completely untrustworthy. In the Bible and throughout all biblical things, okay, you were told to put your house in order first before you go out and do anything else. Get your own house in order and get your affairs in order. And then you can go out there and help other people. And when you turn the other cheek, turn it for you. But you're also supposed to be defending people who are defenseless. These illegals are not defenseless. They're coming over here specifically to infiltrate and destroy the United States of America. They're getting elected to different positions from cities. Look at Dearborn. It's almost totally Muslim on the city council now. You can't even reason with them. You can't even. What is the point of reasoning with them? And you know why? Because good Christian people who could have stood up, didn't stand up, didn't run for office, didn't instill in their children, hey, you got to have good Christian values. Because this country was actually founded on Christian values. The Bible. And yeah, I'm fully aware there's 900 different Bibles. But the bottom line there is in every single one of them, the principles, the basic fundamental principles of Christianity are in all of them. So if you're really seeking something, you're going to be able to find it. And some of you are dead set. The King James Bible is it. Well, King James altered that Bible and had it commissioned because he wanted to dump his wife and marry a new one and do some other things. But that was the main reason. So that's not a good thing. And then you got all the 900 Bibles after that because, one guy didn't like that one, so he tore out a page. And this one didn't like that one, so they torn out a page. Then when you got other religions who don't even understand the difference between, you gotta love them. You gotta love them. Thinking that Jesus was impaled on a stake instead of a cross, which wasn't even, you got to go like, okay, period form, when was impaling a form of punishment, capital punishment, and when was the cross a capital punishment? They don't even, these people are dumbed down so much they can't even look at historical facts anymore. And then when you go to look at the historical facts, are you sure those are the historical facts? Not necessarily. You got to piece them all back together. But I don't even think it doesn't even matter anymore. It doesn't even matter anymore because the common sense that what used to be common has been gone. It's gone. We can see reprobate minds in front of us now. What is a reprobate mind? A reprobate mind is when God no longer intervenes with you and you can just fall off the edge yourself because you're just too far gone. It's like, well, if you're going to be acting like that, I guess it's all, I got to wipe my shoes somewhere. I just have to say, I'm dusting off my shoes and going away. The Ethiopian Bible is the oldest and most accurate, they say, because it has all the books that were removed from every other Bible. Well, here's what I'm going to say about that. Some of those books, I don't think coincide with, the historical books are one thing. Biblical principles are another. So historical books shouldn't necessarily be included in a biblical text because I can think of one off the top of my head that really doesn't follow biblical principle. So when the people got together, which was Catholics basically, and a board of people that decided what is going to be in the Bible and what is not going to be in the Bible, they were taking it from a religious aspect of Christianity and what coincides, what lesson can you learn from a Christian standpoint, rather than just as a historical book that is talking about events that really doesn't have anything to do with Christianity whatsoever. It's just like a historical thing. Like I walked to the store, I got some stuff and it came back. That has no principles in it whatsoever of Christianity. There's no lesson to be learned there. Except for maybe you can walk, maybe you can buy stuff, and maybe you can bring it back home. That's not really a lesson. So the Apocrypha, is interesting. I will say that. And the Bible is very clear that there are other books that are not in the Bible itself. And as long as it coincides with biblical principle, they're still good books. And they should be taken as scripture. It's very clear there. But, then you got freaks out there who just, their hair lights on fire every single time, they think, oh, there's something beyond the Bible. Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of stuff beyond the Bible because that stopped back, long time ago. Stuff still happened between then and now. So people probably wrote about that, I would think, since we all know how to write. And that doesn't make it any less valid. Just saying. If you go to church on Sunday and you listen to a guy and you think that his words are inspired, then that is considered scripture by biblical standard. So you can't be hypocritical in that regard either. So anyway, guys, look, you're gonna have to watch out. You're gonna have to watch out. You're gonna have to make sure that you push for all of these illegals that are breaking their oaths of office, because it's an oath. The oaths of office, and I say illegals, but I'm talking about like the people who came here and naturalized themselves. They had these oaths. They became politicians. They've been installed. They need to be deported. They need to have their citizenship revoked, and they need to be deported. Ilhan Omar should be deported. I can think that Somalian guy who was running for mayor. I think he was running for mayor. Maybe he was governor. Whatever he was running for. I was like, there is no way that guy's going to win, and he didn't. Anyone who is breaking their allegiance to the United States of America should, and I'm talking only about immigrants, should be deported, their citizenship revoked and deported. Now, the other people who are born in this country and are committing treason and sedition, that is a whole different ballgame. Those people need to be also dealt with, but in more of a treason standard, because that has to do with the Constitution. Yeah, absolutely. I'll put this up here because this is Richard is hilarious. This is their little chant that they always say, hey, 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 ho, ho. And then they say something has to go. Well, in this instance, it's Ilhan Omar has to go. So anyway, if you guys want to visit my website, it's aprilofjune.com. Let me see. I think I have that up here, actually. Let me see. Wow, it's been a long time. Hey, Scott Rollins. Nice to see you. Yeah, this is my website right here. Okay. You can go there under the SBC tab and learn how to be in the world, but not of it. That is starting with the manual. Very, very interesting on how to get yourself detached from the system. And if you don't know what that means, go read Redemption Manual 4.5. It's a free PDF online. Otherwise, you're going to spend a lot of money trying to get it. Okay, this one is my email, april@aprilofjune.com. You can always write me an email. And if you do not see my email response, check your spam. It's probably there. So anyway, I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. It's only Monday, but it already feels like Saturday of the next week. Just saying. But we're going to make it through, aren't we? Sure.